Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivadhatari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivadhatari Yasodanandana Raja Janaran Jana Yasodanandana Raja Janaran Jana Yasodanandana Raja Janaran Jana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Prabhupada Jayom Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajacharya Astaturusha Srimad Divine Grace Srila Abhay Charanaravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki ISKCON founder, BBT founder Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananta Kodi Vaishnav Vrindi Ki Jai. Tantraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai. Srila Vyasadev Ki Jai. Guru Parampara Ki Jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So according to our Vaishnava calendar, today marks the auspicious festival of Sivaratri. Of course, in other places they may have celebrated Sivaratri yesterday. Closer? Better? Okay, thank you. So we chose a particular verse to glorify Shambhu or Sadashiva in relation to Krishna consciousness and in relation to how Srila Prabhupada helps us understand this, and in relation to Sadashiva's or Shambhu's relationship with Krishna. So you can repeat after me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 24, entitled Chanting the Song sung by Lord Śiva. Text 30. Atha bhagavata yūyaṁ priyāḥ bhagavān yathā namad bhagavatānāṁ ca preyān anyo stha karhicit atha bhagavata yūyaṁ priyāḥ bhagavān yathā namad bhagavatānāṁ ca preyān anyo karhicit atha bhagavatāḥ yūyaṁ priyāḥ stha bhagavān yathā namad bhagavatānāṁ ca preyān anyo karhicit
atha bhagavatāḥ yūyaṁ priyāḥ stha bhagavān yathā namad bhagavatānāṁ ca preyān anyo karhicit
Matajis. And the word for word, atha, therefore, bhagavatāḥ, devotees, yūyam, all of you, priyāḥ, very dear to me, stha, you are, bhagavān, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, yathā, as, neither, mat, than me, bhagavatānām, of the devotees, cha, also, preyān, very dear, anyo, others, asthi, there is, karhicit, at any time. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada ki. So these verses are spoken or chanted by Lord Śiva himself. And Lord Śiva tells us in the translation, you are all devotees of the Lord, and as such I appreciate that you are as respectable as the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself. I know in this way that the devotees also respect me and that I am dear to them. Thus no one can be as dear to the devotees as I am. And in the purport by Srila Prabhupada, it is said, Vaishnavanam yathā Shambhu, Lord Śiva is the best of all devotees. Therefore all devotees of Lord Kṛṣṇa are also devotees of Lord Śiva. In Vrindavan, there is Lord Śiva's temple called Gopeshvara. The gopis used to worship not only Lord Śiva, but Katyayani or Durga as well. But their aim was to attain the favor of Lord Kṛṣṇa. A devotee of Lord Kṛṣṇa does not disrespect Lord Śiva, but worships Lord Śiva as the most exalted devotee of Lord Kṛṣṇa. Consequently, whenever a devotee worships Lord Śiva, he prays to Lord Śiva to achieve the favor of Kṛṣṇa, and he does not request material profit. In Bhagavad-gītā chapter 7, text 20, it is said that generally people worship demigods for some material profit. Kamais, stha, hṛta-jñānāḥ. Driven by material lust, they worship demigods. But a devotee never does so, for he is never driven by material lust. That is the difference between a devotee's respect for Lord Śiva and an asura's respect for him. The asura worships Lord Śiva, takes some benediction from him, misuses the benediction, and ultimately is killed by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who awards him liberation. Because Lord Śiva is a great devotee of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he loves all the devotees of the Supreme Lord. Lord Śiva told the Prachetas that because they were devotees of the Lord, he loved them very much. Lord Śiva was not kind and merciful only to the Prachetas. Anyone who is a devotee of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is very dear to Lord Śiva. Not only are the devotees dear to Lord Śiva, but he respects them as much as he respects the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Similarly, devotees of the Supreme Lord also worship Lord Śiva as the most dear devotee of Lord Kṛṣṇa. They do not worship him as a separate personality of Godhead. It is stated in the list of nama aparāds that it is an offense to think that the chanting of the name of Hari and the chanting of Hara or Shiva are the same. The devotees must always know that Lord Vishnu is the Supreme Personality of Godhead and that Lord Śiva is his devotee. A devotee should be offered respect on the level of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but sometimes even more respect. Indeed, Lord Rama, the Personality of Godhead himself, sometimes worshipped Lord Śiva. If a devotee is worshipped by the Lord, why should a devotee not be worshipped by other devotees on the same level with the Lord? This is the conclusion. From this verse it appears that Lord Śiva blesses the asuras simply for the sake of formality. Actually, he loves one who is devoted to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Sthapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Adati Svapadantikam Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanabhyo Vaishnavabhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada tells a nice story that Lord Śiva, he could not even construct his own house. It's quite amazing. He used to simply live beneath a tree. And his wife, known by various names, but Srila Prabhupada pointed out the name specifically Durga. That Durga, Srishti Sthiti Pralaya Sadhana Shakti Reka, the Durga herself, she can create a whole new world. And she can create so many universes herself. She's so powerful. Yeah. In fact, one time when Srimati Indira Gandhi was the Prime Minister of India, 70s, 80s. And she was being attacked in various ways. And she declared a state of emergency. That means absolute authority. So when Srila Prabhupada heard about it, he said that Indira Gandhi is only second to Durga. She was that powerful, Indira Gandhi. But there's no one more powerful than Durga. Like that. Yeah. So, Durga herself, she can construct a very beautiful home or palace, what to speak of even creating a world on its own, like that. But she was simply living with Lord Śiva also under a tree. Srila Prabhupada says, she never claimed from her husband, my dear Pati, if you cannot make a home, I can also make one. In other words, she never felt that she's greater than her Pati. Like that. So Srila Prabhupada tells a story that sometimes people may criticize, and Durga is speaking to Śiva that they're criticizing us, like that. So we don't even have a home, and everyone's worshipping you. They have beautiful homes, like that. So let's make a home. Prabhupada gives the story. Let's make a home. So Lord Śiva, together with Durga, actually she did it more than Śiva himself, Durga. They built a very nice home that is made of solid gold. Everything from the foundation to the walls, whatever, solid gold, like that. And then Durga tells Śiva, now we shall live in this, right? Like that. So Śiva said, no, it's a new home. We have to have an entering ceremony. We have to have an entering ceremony, like that. So a lot of sages were invited for the entering ceremony, and one of them was Gagamuni himself, Gagacharya, and many other brahmanas came. And of course you have to feed them. And Durga can create anything, she can bring fruits, vegetables, whatever. Cooking started, and But all the brahmanas, including Gargacharya or Garga Muni, they ate so much that all the stock got finished. In that sense, like that. So after eating, so Lord Śiva noticed that so Srila Prabhupada said that they're not leaving. Garga Muni and the brahmanas, they're not leaving. So Durga became a little bewildered, what is going on? They're not leaving, like that. So they asked Garga Muni, we cannot leave without any dakshin. Where's the dakshin? Like that. So Lord Śiva said, I gave you everything. I invited you to my home. I have no dakshin. Like that. So Durga is becoming perplexed and bewildered. Why is my pati speaking like this? That he doesn't have any dakshin to give them. Like that. So she became puzzled. And then Srila Prabhupada, when he said the story, he was laughing, the way he was laughing and saying the story is like his belly was moving, back, it was like laughing, like that. Then Lord Śiva said, all right, I don't have any dakshin, take this house. That's the only dakshin I have, take this house. And then Durga became very perplexed and confused. My pati, we had house welcoming ceremony. Now you gave the house away. So Lord Śiva said, better to go and live back under a tree. It's too much, House will be maintenance, this, that. Better to live under one tree. Like that. So many people question that, she herself is so powerful, Srishti Sthiti Pralaya Sadhana Shakti Eva, she's so powerful. But she never demanded from a pati and build a palace like that. So that's how renounced in a natural way, not that you become renounced. That's Śiva. He's naturally that. He doesn't need to practice renunciation. He's naturally that. So one time from the Krishna book, in chapter 34, Nanda Maharaj and the coward men also observed Sivaratri in a place called Bhagavan. So when they asked Srila Prabhupada on a morning walk about this in Mumbai, in 1st May of 1974, Srila Prabhupada just simply said one sentence, like that. He said, observing Sivaratri, Nanda Maharaj? He said, yes. He said, Nanda Maharaj and all the cowards there, they observe Sivaratri simply to increase the attachment for Krishna. And then Srila Prabhupada said 3 words, that is wanted. Simply to increase our attachment for Krishna. Now there's a point here. Prabhupada's words are very simple, but it's very deceptively simple. In other words, Nanda Maharaj is already attached to Krishna. So why does he have to observe Sivaratri to become more attached to Krishna? And that is Nanda Maharaj's mercy on Shambhu Shiva. That I am taking advantage of your day or night. Ratri means night. Shiva means auspicious, like that. So that I can develop more of my attachment for Krishna. But it is simply an excuse. It's simply an excuse to make Shiva feel very, very, very important devotee. Like that. Because in the spiritual world, the best devotee is Radharani. So why would Nanda Maharaj do that anyway? And she comes, to Mother Yasoda's kitchen in Nandagram and cooks every day for Krishna. She's the best devotee. See? So this Nanda Maharaj's mercy to use the excuse of Sivaratri to sort of increase his attachment for Krishna. Prabhupada simply said that. Nanda Maharaj and all the cowherds, they observe Sivaratri simply that they can increase their attachment for Krishna. And he said, that is wanted. Now, Brahma Samhita gives so many beautiful verses in relation to what is actually Sivaratri. From Krishna comes the next manifestation of Baladev, then Sankarshan, Chaturvyuha, Narayan, second Maha Sankarshan, second Chaturvyuha, and then comes the plenary portion of Mahavishnu. Like that. So, Mahavishnu has a consort, and she's the form of Anidra Mahi. In other words, I'm not sure whether I should explain it relative to people's material experience, because I don't have any experience of it myself. Yeah. Just like when a man and woman are completely absorbed in each other, they are completely oblivious of their surroundings. In other words, they're completely oblivious. They don't know the surroundings, what's happening. They're too absorbed in each other. Like that. So similarly, when Mahavishnu becomes absorbed, that absorption is called Nidra Mahi. Mahi means becoming, you could say, not really covered over, but becoming, you could say, influenced by Yoga Nidra. And Yoga Nidra is a form of the consort of Mahavishnu called Rama Devi, not Rama, Rama Devi. That's the simplest way to explain it. Is that okay? I'm not sure whether I can explain it more simple than that. Yeah. So Rama Devi, like that, is the consort of Mahavishnu, who is the form of Anidra Mahi that puts him into Samadhi, puts Mahavishnu into Samadhi. It's called spiritual slumber. So that's called, technically, in Sanskrit word, a Yoga Nidra. Like that. And that's his enjoyment. That's his bhav. Yeah. Now, Mahavishnu, you do not see even a painting of Mahavishnu with his consort. There's no painting. Maybe Garbhodakshay Vishnu Lakshmi is there massaging his feet, on the bed of Anantashit. But Mahavishnu doesn't have that. He's lying in the causal ocean. And that too, we do not know what the causal ocean is. It's without any cause. Causal ocean without any cause. So Mahavishnu, when he does that, and is completely absorbed in Nidra Mahi, which is a form of Yoga Nidra, which is the consort called Rama Devi. Rama Devi has a shadow form, which is called Maya Devi. Very simple. And Maya Devi is observing the intimacy of Mahavishnu with Rama Devi but cannot see the intimacy and cannot experience it itself. So she feels, Maya Devi, who is a maidservant of Rama Devi, feels that what it would be like to enjoy the Master, Mahavishnu. So in other words, if an energy like that comes towards you, you're going to get affected. So Mahavishnu gets affected and he turns his head and he opens his eyes and he glances. And that glance moves towards the maidservant called Maya Devi, who's actually an expansion, a Basrupa, shadow reflection of Rama Devi. Now, when Mahavishnu opens his eyes and he glances towards one side, like that, it's a disturbing glance. Who has disturbed me? Who has disturbed my association with Rama Devi? I was in Samadhi. Who has done this? So the glance is one of a disturbing glance. And the glance moves. So when the glance moves to Maya Devi, the maidservant of Rama Devi, when it moves, then Rama Devi, where's my pati? Where's Mahavishnu? He's not with me. Then she sees that Mahavishnu's eyes are open and it's not closed and the glance is moving. So immediately Rama Devi catches the purpose of the glance. And the purpose of the glance enters a few energies. Kriya Shakti, Jnana Shakti and Icha Shakti. Kriya means that Mahavishnu is merciful. He wants to fulfill the desire of Maya Devi. Icha Shakti means the desire of Maya Devi is affecting him. Icha means desire. And Jnana Shakti means I have to teach her something. I have to train her up. See? But when Rama Devi catches the purpose of the glance is moving. That is called Kala Shakti. It's now a time factor. So Icha Shakti, Kriya Shakti, Jnana Shakti and Kala Shakti combined, which is caught by Rama Devi. So when Rama Devi catches the purpose of this glance, not the glance, catches the purpose of the glance, that is called Shambhu. And that Shambhu, which is caught by the Rama Devi, the purpose of the glance, enters into Maya Devi. So Srila Prabhupada used to say, Mahavishnu never touches Maya Devi. And he gives a very beautiful analogy. He says, just like a flower, you don't have to touch the flower to smell it. Similarly, Mahavishnu never touches. Only through the agency of Rama Devi, and that purpose of that glance enters into Maya Devi. And then Maya Devi becomes what is called Udara Shakti, the womb of material nature. Udara. Udara means like stomach, like Dhamma Udara. Dhammoda. And that's how the living conditioned entities are thrust into material nature. That is called Ratri. That is called Ratri. Because they thrust into the mode of ignorance. See? So, when Rama Devi transforms that glance that is moving towards Maya Devi, it enters into Maya Devi. And when it becomes Shambhu, that is called in layman's terms, commonly known, lingam. Lingam, which is the generative male organ. And that lingam enters into Udara Shakti, which is called the womb of material nature. And that is the generative female organ. And this is how the first seed of mundane sex desire is planted into the material nature. And that is called Sivaratri. Srila Prabhupada used to say that if you know how you were thrown into this material nature and imprisoned, it's easy to get out. And the binding force of how you came into this material nature is sex life. So if you give up that, you could say, bars of sex life, you can leave this place and go back home, back to Golok. That is called Sivaratri, the night of Lord Śiva. It is not a marriage, as commonly people know. It is not a marriage. So therefore, it is important to know that Shambhu is the glance, and that transforms into a lingam. A lingam that enters into the womb of material nature. There's more to this, there's much more to this. It takes many, many days and hours to discuss the entire creative situation. I do classes on this. It takes about 18 hours to do everything very systematically. If you know how you were trapped and thrown into material nature due to your material desire, you'll know how to get out also. You'll know how to get out. You have any comments or questions you'd like to ask? Is that Dhruva Maharaj, Prabhu? Nice to see you. It's been many years. Any comments or questions? Yes. A microphone there, please. I have a tendency, I'd like to start on time and end on time.
Hare Krishna, thank you for the... Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you so much for the very instructive, technical explanation.
What's your name?
My name is Gadadhar Priya Das.
Gadadhar Priya Prabhu, yes. What's your question?
Yes, the question is, Mahavishnu is glancing at the material nature.
Mahavishnu is?
Glancing.
A glance, okay.
Yes.
Yes.
And as you explained, the glance, the purpose of the glance is Shambhu, Lord Śiva. No?
The purpose of the glance is carried by Rama Devi, his consort. Because she was disturbed and Mahavishnu was disturbed by the desire of Maya Devi. But they have to fulfill her desire.
Okay.
But Mahavishnu cannot touch Maya Devi. Only Rama Devi can make it enter the function of the glance, the purpose of the glance, enter into Maya Devi, who transforms into Udara Shakti, the womb of material nature.
Okay. So, we are in one particular universe, and there is millions of universes.
There's no universe at this time, when this happens.
No,
the universes only come after Udara Shakti, Maya Devi, accepts the living entities to be thrust into the womb of material nature.
Okay.
See? And thereafter Mahavishnu becomes relieved. He says, it's over. let she deal with it now. Like exhaling. All the universes come. And then he expands into each universe as Garbhodaksha Hi Vishnu.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
So he expands his Garbhodaksha Vishnu and then Kshirodaksha Vishnu, entering into every atom. So if Krishna
and in between each atom.
And in between each atom. So
Krishna
Krishna's all pervasive, he's everywhere. So what's the significance of, worshipping deities or this or that? And Krishna's everywhere. You can worship the pillars, you can, worship anything and everything. What's the distinction between worshiping and understanding Krishna's there?
You have a son. What's his age? You have two sons. What's the youngest age? What's the younger one's age?
35.
35. So did you visit your son recently?
What?
Were you with your son recently, like in Miami or somewhere?
Did you visit your son recently?
No.
But the last time you were with him, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Last time.
So when you were with him, and then he left the home, and then you were there, and you see like his shoes or something, does it remind you of him?
Oh yeah.
Yes. So that's tadiya. Tadiya means paraphernalia that is used by him, like that. Now, which is better to associate with the tadiya or to associate when he's using the paraphernalia? Which is better?
I don't know. They're both good.
It's called common sense.
You pick it then.
You prefer to be with your son, with the paraphernalia.
Okay.
Isn't that better?
Much better.
Yes. Have I answered your question?
Oh yes, thank you.
There's the hand in the back there. So the Mata just give the microphone there. Krishna consciousness is common sense. And Krishna consciousness is very simple.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you for a wonderful class. I have one query. We understand that Shiva is the topmost devotee.
Not Shiva, Shambhu.
Shambhu, okay. Shambhu is the topmost devotee.
Do you know why?
No.
Because he has to fulfill the material desires of the living entities. It's a thankless task. Nobody is going to thank Shambhu to thrust you into the womb of material nature. But he has to do it. That is why he is Shambhu.
So, and we say Radharani is also the topmost devotee.
What?
Radharani also is the topmost devotee.
Yeah, that's from the border of the material nature into the spiritual nature. And the Prabhupada says the border between the material world, which is called Durga Dham, and Vaikuntha, is Shiva, Sadashiva Loka. He doesn't say Shiva Loka, he says Sadashiva Loka. It's the border.
Yes. And then we say Giriraj also is the topmost devotee. So my query is, out of these three, how we should understand their position and how we should approach these three personalities.
So you are saying Radharani is the topmost devotee, Giriraj, Govardhan is the topmost devotee, Shiva is the topmost devotee. So you are saying like this.
How we should understand it and how we should approach each one of them.
Okay. I know you, but I forget your name.
Yashomati Dasi.
Yashomati Dasi. Now Yashomati, chant Hare Krishna. Chant.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Everyone, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. You know, I'm not a social media person at all. So one devotee, many devotees are telling me, Maharaj, why don't you have your own YouTube channel? I said, what is that? So they explained to me. So I said, then what do we call the YouTube channel? I said, no, we'll call it Questions and Unexpected Answers. I said, I don't want to be there. I don't have the channel. So now, Yasomati Mataji, you chanted the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That means the holy name is more merciful and more powerful than Radha, Shyama, Sundar, Lalita, Vishaka, Krishna, Balaram, and Shri Gaurnitai. The holy name is more powerful than them. But you are more powerful than the holy name. This is from my perspective. You may not agree from your perspective. That's okay. Yeah. So you are more powerful than the holy name. Now chant again. Only Yasomati Mataji. Chant again.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Okay. So you have manifested the holy name. The holy name doesn't come like from the sky like an Akashvani or something. Holy. The chanter of the holy name is more powerful than the holy name. And the holy name is more powerful and more merciful than the forms of the Lord. So you are the best devotee. For me, Giriraj is very distant. I'm seeing physically, Radharani is distant. I don't know who she really is. Shambhu is too powerful for me. But I know you, little bit, not completely. So you are the best devotee because you are manifesting the holy name. Next question. Microphone here. I have a tendency to confuse people also, so you can digest it, it's okay.
So,
if you can't digest it, then ponder on it, contemplate on it. You won't contemplate on Maya, you contemplate on this. It's a nice thing. What's your name?
my name is Harinamananda Das.
Harinamananda. See, he's also the best devotee. He's the servant of the holy name. Because he knows how it is, what it means to chant and feel Ananda. So that's how he appropriately received that name. Yes. He's also bewildered. You forgot your question.
I wanted to know what is the difference between Lord Śiva, as we understand as best devotee, Shambhu, Sadashiva, all these different names. How can we...
So there are various features to this. Everyone heard the question? You heard the question? Can you repeat loudly, hold the microphone close?
What is the difference between the different aspects of Lord Śiva as Sadashiva, Shambhu, and Lord Śiva as we know?
Yes. Rudra, yes. Yeah. Shambhu is not the glance of Mahavishnu. It only becomes Shambhu when Rama Devi carries the purpose of function of the glance to make it enter into Maya Devi, which I explained earlier on. So that's Shambhu. When that purpose of that glance enters into Maya Devi, who transforms into Udara Shakti, the womb of material nature, then it becomes a lingam. It becomes a lingam. That is Shambhu. That's what people first worship. They call it in common language Shiva Lingam. But it's not Shiva, it's Shambhu. The lingam is Shambhu. And that enters into the womb of material nature as the male generative organ into the female generative organ. That is Sivaratri. See? Then after that happens and the living entities go into each universe, and so there's a lot of detail to discuss, which I teach in different ways. Yeah. So then that Shambhu becomes Sadashiva as a person. From the lingam to becoming a person. And Udara Shakti Maya Jevi takes the form of Parvati. So therefore Prabhupada specifically says that that planet, which is the border that separates Vaikuntha from the material creation, is called Sadashiva Loka, not just Shiva Loka. That's Sadashiva. Shiva means auspicious. Sadashiva means always auspicious. We okay so far? So I'll try to explain it simply put now. All the notes are here and in my other books. From Brahma Samhita and from the first 3 cantos of Srimad Bhagavatam. Yeah. So now, one time, Parvati was sitting with Sadashiva in Sadashiva Loka. Got it? So we're going to speak in terms of what we understand in relation to this particular universe, because the Srimad Bhagavatam that we have received is meant only for this universe, not for the other universes. It's given to us in relation to this universe. We okay so far? Yeah. Now, when Parvati was sitting next to Sadashiva, he closed his eyes. And when he closed his eyes, he was like sort of smiling and then laughing and so forth. Like that. So she touched him, Parvati, and said, "My dear Pati," but he's not with her. He's gone. Although he's still sitting there, but his eyes are closed. He's gone. Sometimes you get a wife and then she'll talk to the husband and the husband will say, She'll keep on speaking and she'll say, And then suddenly the wife will take the hand and put in front of the husband's face and he doesn't see that. He's still saying, Then she asks, Are you hearing what I'm saying? He'll say, Oh, what did you say? No, you tell me what I said. He's not hearing. He's just making. See? So Sadashiva was like that. That's how husbands are. Got it from Sadashiva. So now, Sadashiva, so she got him out of this trance, and he was like laughing and he was in ecstasy. So he says, "My dear Pati, where did you go?" No, I'm here. No, where did you go? This is Sadashiva. No, I'm here. No, you went somewhere. Yes, I went to work. I left home and I went to office. Kailash. See? In this universe, it comes between Brahma's eyebrows. In this particular universe. So then he's known as Shiva, not Sadashiva. And also simultaneously, Prabhupada says, I have my notes here, Prabhupada says, he simultaneously becomes sort of a living entity. But Sadashiva is not. Sadashiva is the Abhas Rupa. Is the shadow, a reflected form of Mahavishnu. And therefore Shiva Tattva. He has his own energetic features. See? So when Sadashiva expands into this universe to go to office, from home to office, he comes through the agency of Brahma's eyebrows. In other places, Srila Prabhupada says sometimes he comes through the agency of Vishnu's eyebrows. Both are accepted. Okay so far? Shambhu is the purpose of the glance by Rama Devi. Is transformed into the lingam, and that lingam takes the personal form of Sadashiva. When Sadashiva enters into this universe through Brahma's eyebrows, he becomes Shiva. Because he went through Brahma, who was a regular living entity, through that agency he also becomes sort of a regular, but simultaneously he's not a living entity, a regular living entity. It's like that. But I can read my notes if you want, it's right here. Is that okay? So he goes to Mount Kailash. So when Parvati asked him in Sadashiva Loka, where did you go? He said, no, I went to office. He said, why can't I go to office? No, that place is not good for ladies, for Matajis. Because in Kailash, he dances, Tandava Nitra, and he plays this dum like that, and he destroys everything. There's no place for a Mataji or a woman. But now women, they insist. And she persisted. My dear Pati, where did you go? I also want to go. I saw you were laughing and in ecstasy. Do you know that you my Pati and I have to enjoy 50% of your happiness? Where is that? And then Sadashiva said to Parvati, yes, you have to enjoy 50% of my happiness. But if you do something wrong, I have to suffer 100% of your action. Because I'm not taking care of you properly and you do something wrong, I have to suffer, that not you. She said, that may be, but let me enjoy now. See? So, Sadashiva said, okay, close your eyes. She closed her eyes, and Sadashiva closed her eyes. So through the meditative process from Sadashiva Loka, Parvati enters into this universe. But not with Sadashiva. She enters into the universe as Durga Mata. You'll never find Durga with Shiva. They're not together. Sometimes I joke, sometimes women say, I also want to work. Okay, go to work. But don't work in my office. See? So Parvati enters into this universe as Durga Mata, the warden of the prison house of the material world. Yeah. So sometimes in the prison house of the material world, some living entities are more naughty than usual. They're all conditioned, but some become like very bad criminals. They're more naughty than usual. Like that. So Durga sees, oh, I'm supposed to reform you, but you cannot be reformed. You're too naughty. And she becomes angry. Durga becomes angry. And her tongue comes out. I will devour you. So the anger manifestation of Durga is Mother Kali. Like that. So Shambhu, Sadashiva, Shiva. This is in a very simplistic way.
Where can we find the details?
Sri Brahma Samhita, especially, and in the first 3 cantos of Srimad Bhagavatam.
You mentioned you had classes on them.
Yeah, I do that, but I haven't done it recently.
Are there recordings?
Breakfast time.
Okay.
These are not like recordings in that sense. So I'll just end with this. In Prabhupada's last days here in his home here, right here, yeah. Harisori Prabhu had obtained a detailed astrological chart on Srila Prabhupada from Delhi. Because they're trying every means to keep Prabhupada with us in those last days in November. Every means, whatever means we can possible, like that. So he went to Delhi and he did an astrological calculation on Srila Prabhupada. We don't want to leave, but tell us what to do so that he can still stay with us. So let's see what's the astrological calculation all about. So he brought it. So that astrologer in Delhi recommended a mantra to be chanted by 10 brahmanas for 21 days. So that Prabhupada could stay on with us. Like that. So Prabhupada asked, so what is that mantra? So when he heard what the mantra was from the astrologer, it was a mantra that is begging or pleading to Lord Śiva to please allow Prabhupada to stay, not leave, like that. And Srila Prabhupada very simply said in 5 words, we have our Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. That is sufficient. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki, Hare Krishna Maha Mantra ki, Vaishnavanam yathā Shambhu ki, Yathā Gaur Premanande.